Step 5.2 Distance-based methods. We are now looking at partitioning methods. Partitioning methods group observations into a specified number of clusters, optimizing some criterion. And we're using artificial data first to illustrate that method. We're generating that artificial data using function price feature from package FlexClust. So we are loading the package, we're setting a random seed to make the artificial data generation reproducible, and then we're using function price feature to generate two-dimensional data with 500 observations, which comes from a distribution of 3 clusters. So this is the data set, and we can plot that data set, visualize it to see what it looks like. We want to make this approximately the same length for the x and the y-axis. See the range is 0 to 10 on both, and then we see that we have here 3 clusters which are approximately look like circles. So this should be an easy problem in clustering. And we now want to use the k-means algorithm for clustering the data. There are different implementations available in R. There's the k-means function in base R. Here we'll be using the function cclust from package FlexClust. So cclust runs the k-means algorithm on that data P of3 with 3 clusters. So we run that. Can look at the results. The result is an object of class KCCA, how we generated the object, and these are the cluster sizes, so which cluster sizes were obtained. And we can now inspect more details of that fitted object by looking at the centroids using function parameters. This will give us in the first row the centroid of the first cluster, that's the centroid of the second, that's the centroid of the third cluster, and function clusters will return the vector of cluster assignment. So this will be a vector of length 500. Here we are only looking at the first 20 elements, and this is a vector which contains 1, 2, and 3. So 100 1s, 200 2s, and 200 3s. For visualizing the solution, we're using a function from package MSA, that's function cluster hulls, where we put in the data and the cluster assignments. And from that information, what cluster hulls does, if we zoom in, is it plots the same scatter plot with the data, but it uses different colors and different point styles for observations assigned to different clusters. So we see we have correctly identified the 3 clusters with our application of the k-means algorithm, and a cluster hulls also adds these convex hulls, which in a way ensure that within the bounds of this cluster hull are all observations which have been assigned to that cluster, and this allows very easily to see in which area are observations from that cluster, and also to identify are clusters well separated, are there gaps in between, or are they very close. In general, when one uses partitioning methods or clustering in general, one doesn't know the correct number of clusters. So what one needs to do when one runs partitioning algorithms, one needs to run the partitioning algorithm for different number of clusters. And this can be done using the package FlexClust with the function stepcclust. So stepcclust also takes the data, but for the number of clusters, it takes a vector. So here we are calculating the optimal partition, or we're looking for the optimal partition into 2 clusters, 3 clusters, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 clusters. So internally, stepcclust calls the function cclust with different values of k. And the k-means algorithm is also a deterministic algorithm giving the initialization, and it's prone to converge to only a local optimum. And to increase the chances of finding a good solution to reach the global optimum, what we are doing is we are repeating the process with 10 different random initializations, and we only keep the best solution. So if we run stepcclust, what's happening is that a cclust is called for 2 clusters 10 times. So the stars here represent each run with a different random initialization. And the object which is returned is of class the flex class. This is the call, and it contains the information for the different number of clusters. Here also the solution with one cluster is included, but here we don't need to run the algorithm because all observations are in one cluster anyway. Here's the number of iterations the k-means algorithm needed to converge. Here's the information if it converged within the maximum number of iterations we had selected. So if it doesn't converge, that might be an indication that we should increase this when running the function. And here's this sum, that's the criterion which is sort of optimized by the algorithm. And this is normally what people look at to decide on what's a good number of clusters. And it's easier to see in a plot. And this is the default plot method for objects of class depth flex class. That visualizes the sum of within cluster distances on the y-axis versus the number of clusters on the x-axis. And this kind of plot is also called a scree plot. And what we see is that the sum of within cluster distances strongly decreases between cluster 1 and 2, and again between 2 and 3, and then we only have a slight decrease. And if we would put in 2 lines, we would get here an elbow. So here we could put in a line with a steep decrease, here a line with a small decrease, and here we would have the elbow indicating that 3 number of clusters is a suitable solution.